I entered a Snapdragon UK competition on Twitter to attend the Nothing Phone 1 launch event in London, and this is how the story unfolded. I got to spend an afternoon at the Nothing offices in central London for the launch of the Phone 1, the first phone in the Nothing brand lineup. I am going to share with you my thoughts and initial impressions of the Nothing Phone 1. The launch event was an intimate affair rather than a big corporate event, fitting really well with the company's ethos of trying to be different in a crowded marketplace. They had to be different to get noticed. The back of this phone is where the magic really happens. Magic! We'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. Firstly, let's look at what the specs of this phone are. They will pop up on the screen right now. Remember, specs are just that, specs. It's how the phone functions. That's the most important thing. I only had a limited time with this phone, and these impressions and thoughts are very much that, limited. For me to give a real review, I need this device longer than the time I got to spend with it. The time that I did get to spend with this phone, I really enjoyed the feel of the phone in the hand. It's very lightweight, and as Carl said in his keynote, that is due to the phone being made out of aluminium rather than steel. The external design does look like an iPhone 12 with a transparent back. That is what everyone is going to notice when they first look at this phone.
Everyone.
That said, I really like the design of the iPhone 12 and the 13s, and I own an iPhone 13 Pro Max. That for me is a good start for the Nothing Phone 1. The screen is a 6.55 inch screen and has 120Hz display rate. That did feel really fluid and really fast, and I really liked that. What I also liked was the symmetry of the bezels. There is no chin at the bottom, which Carl mentioned in his keynote. This was achieved by using a flexible OLED panel, which increased the cost of raw materials for this phone, but Nothing have kept the price of the phone as low as possible. The front bezel screen is interrupted by a small hole punch for the selfie camera. The phone felt really fast, which begs the question, was the phone fast because there were no other apps installed on the phone? Will the phone slow down when there are a lot of apps installed, or when you are gaming on the phone? These questions can only be answered when I get my hands on the device for a long-term review. Hint, hint, nothing. Send a unit my way. Let's look at the back of the phone and see where the magic really happens. This is what the engineers at Nothing were really proud to show at the launch event. I got to speak to Raymond, one of the software engineers who had worked on the Glyph LED software, and he showed me all the different variations of the Glyph lights. These can be set as specific ringtones or different types of notifications. This part of the phone really does differentiate itself from other Android phones at this price point. The phone does have reverse wireless charging, and the lights show you that something is charging, as shown here with the Nothing Gear ones. If I was to get this phone for myself, it would be the first phone that I would use without a case, and I really want to appreciate the Glyph interface on the back of the phone. Nothing do offer a see-through case, which some of the phones did have, but I would go naked.
Get away from me!
No case for me, thanks. I did try out the fingerprint scanner for myself. It did take around 20 taps on the screen for my thumbprint to get registered. The finger scanner was blazing fast, and I really liked it. While playing with the phone, it looked like it was running stock Android with a few apps on it. There was a Nothing UI skin on there. It was nothing heavy and had no bloatware on there, or any heavy skins, which usually slow the phone right down. The engineers at Nothing did say that they are working on some new apps and widgets, which will be coming out soon, but I really like the fact that they went with stock Android, which is a huge positive for this phone. There are two cameras on the back of this phone. The Nothing engineers told me that in their research, the majority of the people that they actually interviewed shoot with a wide camera anyway. And that is one of the reasons why they went with two very decent cameras on the back rather than 3 or 4 like their competitors. The photos that I was able to take were very decent. I got to take some photos outside, and it seems like for photos with HDR, there seems to be a fair bit of processing after the photo is taken, which you will not be able to see in the viewfinder. After I left the Nothing launch event, I started to think more about this phone on my journey back home. As an iPhone and an iOS user, this phone really seems to be turning my head. Will I be buying one as a second phone? Maybe I will. At £399, it seems like a steal for me. Thank you to Snapdragon UK for choosing me as a winner, and I look forward to working with them in the future. Will you be buying this phone? Are you an iPhone user whose head is being turned like mine? Drop me a comment down below and let me know. If you have found this video useful, then hit that like button for the algorithm. As you have watched this video of mine, then I think this video on the screen you'll find really useful. This is the unboxing of the iPhone 13 Pro Max in the colour Sierra Blue. This whole video was shot on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. That's the end of this video. You know what to do. Vitiligo Talks, keeping tech simple, signing off. Until the next one.